Welcome to Terrafirma Resources 2018 General Orientation. In this orientation, we will discuss the following: Terrafirma's health and safety policy, worker responsibilities, potential hazards, WMIS, company rules, drug and alcohol policy, enforcement policy, imminent danger policy, working alone policy, violence and harassment policy, WCB claims and modified work policy, confidentiality, and conclusion. Please pay attention as you will receive a quiz at the end. Health and safety policy. Terrafirma Resources is committed to a strong safety program that protects employees, subcontractors, clients, the public, and the environment from accidental or deliberate loss caused by injuries or accident. In fulfilling this commitment, senior management will provide and maintain a safe, healthy work environment in accordance with industry standards and in compliance with legislative requirements. Supply the proper equipment, procedures, and training necessary to ensure the safety excellence this company expects. Strive to eliminate any foreseeable hazards which may result in property damage, accidents, or personal injury or illness. And support environmental sustainability and strive to conduct work in a manner that is environmentally friendly. Supervisors are responsible for identifying safety needs, communicating safety hazards, investigating hazardous conditions, and enforcing safety rules. They must also ensure that all employees are properly trained and all appropriate safety procedures are followed. Employees and subcontractors will share the responsibility and accountability for Terrafirma Resources' health and safety performance. They must obey all safety rules, follow recommended safe work practices, wear PPE as required, and actively participate in safety training, pre-job meetings, and hazard assessment processes. Workers must recognize their right and responsibility to refuse unsafe work. Our goal is to maintain an injury and accident-free workplace for all. By working together in the spirit of consultation and cooperation in all parts of the program, we can achieve this goal. Worker responsibilities. All Terrafirma workers have the following responsibilities: carry out their work in a manner that will not create a hazard to their own health and safety or the health and safety of other workers. Follow safe work practices and procedures. Assist site supervisors to reduce and control unsafe conditions and acts on the work site. Report unsafe conditions. Report any near misses and incidents immediately to your supervisor. Report any anticipated loss of work time to their supervisor as soon as possible after being treated by a physician following injury. Report any illness or injury. Be actively involved in the hazard assessment process. Comply with rules and regulations. Make safety suggestions. Assist evaluating new and existing procedures. Wear proper personal protective equipment. Be educated about the task that they are completing. Have the responsibility to refuse unsafe work or conditions. Complete all required paperwork as part of the job. Communicate with whatever level of supervisor is appropriate. And set a good example. Potential hazards. You may come in contact with certain hazards while working for Terrafirma. These could include high traffic on public roads and work sites, tight spaces, pinch points, noise, cave-ins from excavation, overhead power lines, slipping, tripping, or falls, manual lifting, H2S sites, remote areas, weather conditions, underground utilities, explosions, electrical hazards, high pressure lines, or WMS TGG products. As part of this orientation, you will be asked to sign a document stating that you have read and understand that you may be subjected to the above hazards. WMS. As per your CSTS training, you learned about the purpose of WMS, WMS responsibilities, labels, hazard symbols, protecting yourself, and SDS. At Terrafirma, SDSs are located in Terrafirma shops, job vans, crew trucks, as well as with each supervisor or superintendent. SDSs are important because they tell us what is in each product, the warnings such as poisonous, flammable, or corrosive, PPE requirements, as well as first aid measures should you need to refer to them. At Terrafirma, you may come into contact with the following WMS products at a minimum: antifreeze, battery acid, diesel, fire extinguisher powder, gasoline, gear oil, grease, cleaners, motor oil, hydraulic fluids, propane, spray 9, spray paint, transmission fluid, Windex, or WD-40. If, while working for Terrafirma, you come across products that are not on this list, either in the shop area or on a client site, you should contact safety immediately to ensure the SDS for that product is obtained and readily available to you. Once site-specific training is complete, workers must be able to answer 4 questions. What are the hazards? How should I protect myself? What should I do if there's an incident? And how do I get more information? Workers are not considered WMS trained until they can answer all 4 of these questions about every hazardous product they work with or around. Company rules. All employees, visitors, and subcontractors on any Terrafirma Resources project or property must abide by company policies, practices, guidelines, and the following rules. Personal protective equipment shall be worn by all employees and subcontractors in compliance with Terrafirma Resources policies and client requirements on all sites. Report to your supervisor all unsafe acts and unsafe conditions. Near misses, accidents, incidents, or injuries, regardless of their nature, must be promptly reported to your supervisor. Perform all work using safe work practices and procedures and comply with all applicable legislation. Maintain good housekeeping in your work area to foster a safe work environment free of hazards associated with slips, trips, and falls. Operate all vehicles and mobile equipment in accordance with site rules and highway legislation. Adhere to all speed limits, provincial, company-specific, and site-specific. Mandatory use of seat belts in all company equipment and vehicles. All employees and subcontractors shall participate in Terrafirma Resources hazard assessment process and pre-job safety meetings, as well as monthly safety meetings. Safety glasses, face shields, etc. shall be worn when welding, grinding, and for other operations which require eye protection. Smoking is permitted only in designated areas. Employees and subcontractors at every level are subject to immediate termination for discrimination against fellow workers, harassment, violence, theft, or vandalism of company property or disclosure of trade secrets. Consuming or being in possession of alcohol or illegal drugs on company premises or on any Terrafirma Resources worksite is prohibited. You have the responsibility to refuse unsafe work. Drug and alcohol policy. Terrafirma Resources guidelines strictly prohibit the unauthorized use, possession, storage, distribution, purchase, sale, and/or offer for sale of alcohol, illegal drugs, non-prescription drugs, intoxicants, or drug paraphernalia by employees, visitors, and contractors on any Terrafirma Resources worksite. Employees and subcontractors should not report for work, operate a company-owned or leased vehicle, or otherwise engage in company business in any state of impairment that could adversely affect their ability to work safely and effectively. Any use of alcohol or non-prescribed drugs that causes or contributes to unacceptable job performance or unusual job behavior is also prohibited. Terrafirma Resources is committed to meeting our clients' requirements and will follow whichever policy is most stringent. As such, during your employment at Terrafirma Resources, employees and contractors in safety-sensitive positions may be subject to the following types of testing procedures. This could include post-accident, follow-up, reasonable cause, pre-access testing, and return to duty. One of the main goals of our program is to encourage employees to voluntarily seek help with alcohol and/or drug problems. If, however, an individual violates this policy, the consequences are serious. Employees found to be using alcohol or drugs while at work will be disciplined severely. This involves a consultation with operations and managers regarding disciplinary action and the possibility of rehabilitation. Supervisors having actual knowledge that the employee is under the influence of alcohol or drugs shall not permit the employee to get behind the wheel, operate any Terrafirma Resources equipment, or be at work, period. In regards to visitors or contractors, they will be immediately removed from the work site. Any employee or subcontractor taking prescription medication must report that information to the manager or supervisor on site immediately. As a part of your orientation, you'll be asked to sign a drug and alcohol policy acknowledgement stating that you understand and will abide by this policy. Terrafirma Resources strives to ensure a safe and efficient working environment for its employees. We expect all employees, visitors, and contractors to fully cooperate with our safety program, rules, practices, procedures, and policies. Enforcement policy. Terrafirma Resources enforces a 3-strike policy for disciplinary measures. A strike may be given for non-compliance of our Terrafirma policies, rules, and procedures, and may also include failure to properly service equipment. The disciplinary measures will be administered including any or all of the following, depending on the seriousness of the act. All measures will be documented with a copy of the applicable reports placed in an employee's personnel file. A verbal warning will be given for any safety violation where the potential for injury and/or property damage was great, or if an employee or subcontractor fails to comply with Terrafirma or OH&S regulations. A written warning will be given for any violation where a verbal warning was given but apparently ignored by the worker. A written warning will also be given for any safety violation where the potential for injury and/or property damage was great. Suspension or termination will be enforced dependent on the severity of the infraction and the frequency. Workers, subcontractors, visitors, or anyone who fails to comply with our rules will be removed from projects and properties. The safety information in all guidelines does not take precedence over applicable legislations and the OH&S code. All employees are responsible to become familiar with applicable legislation and code. Imminent danger policy. In accordance with the Occupational Health and Safety Act, Chapter 35, existence of imminent danger relates to a danger that is not normal to that occupation, or a danger under which a person engaged in that occupation would not normally carry out the person's work. This section states that no worker shall carry out any work if on reasonable and probable grounds the worker believes that an imminent danger exists to the health or safety of that worker. Carry out any work if, on reasonable and probable grounds, the worker believes that it will cause to exist imminent danger to the health or safety of that worker or another worker present at the work site. Or operate any tool, appliance, or equipment if, on reasonable and probable grounds, the worker believes that it will cause to exist an imminent danger to the health or safety of that worker present at the work site. Should a Terrafirma Resources worker refuse to carry out work, management is to be contacted immediately with the reasons for the worker's refusal. Terrafirma resources will then investigate and take action to eliminate the imminent danger. No worker will be assigned to use or operate a tool, appliance, or equipment, or to perform any work which a worker has made notification that imminent danger exists. Management will prepare a written record of the worker's notification, the investigation, and action taken. While no disciplinary action will be taken against a worker for acting in compliance with the Imminent Danger Act, the worker may be asked to stay on the worksite where practical, but be assigned temporarily to other work assignments that the worker is capable of performing. Workers have the responsibility to refuse unsafe work. Working alone policy. Working alone in certain circumstances or environments may be unsafe and requires special arrangements to be made to minimize potential hazards. The OH&S code states that the worker is considered to be working alone if the worker works by himself or herself at a work site in circumstances where assistance is not readily available when needed. Readily available must take into consideration 3 assessment factors, including awareness, willingness, and timeliness. As such, the safety measures and working alone procedures contained in this policy may still apply when a Terrafirma employee is working alone, but with people from another employer or the general public. Should a work alone situation arise, the safety measures to be taken by management in cooperation with employees include: a hazard assessment is to be conducted to identify existing or potential safety hazards in the workplace associated with working alone. Safety controls to be implemented as identified during the hazard assessment to eliminate or reduce the risk to workers. Ensuring workers have an effective way of communicating with Terrafirma management, supervisors, or the head office in case of an emergency situation. This communication system includes the use of cell phones. The frequency of the call-in system will be determined during the hazard assessment and will be dependent on the severity of hazards on the work site. The following communication systems may include, but are not limited to: at a work site involving minimal hazards, the worker will be required to check in with management upon arrival to the site and also when the job is completed. When a more hazardous work situation is present, the worker will be required to periodically call in at predetermined intervals to the head office or management. Alternately, management may perform frequent visits to the site where practical. Where effective electronic communication is not available, management or safety personnel will check in with the worker by visiting the worksite periodically as discussed during the pre-job planning phase. Workers required to work alone will be properly trained and possess all relevant tickets in relation to the job being performed. They will have cellular phones and be aware of the emergency response plan for that particular job site, as is discussed during the hazard assessment and pre-job planning phase. Terrafirma recognizes the importance of providing a safe and secure work environment. Violence and harassment policy. Terrafirma will not tolerate any type of workplace harassment or violence and will make every effort to prevent violent incidents from occurring. OH&S defines harassment as any objectionable conduct, comment, or display by a person that is directed at a worker, is made on the basis of race, creed, religion, color, sex, sexual orientation, marital status, family status, disability, physical size or weight, age, nationality, ancestry, or place of origin, and constitutes a threat to the health and safety of the worker. WCB claims and modified work policy. If you happen to be injured while on the job, you have the following responsibilities. Notify your immediate supervisor and/or company safety manager prior to seeking medical aid, except in cases of emergency. Obtain medical aid if required and notify the treating physician that Terrafirma does have a modified work program. Obtain a copy of required medical information and present it to Terrafirma should the attending physician neglect to send the required information. Obtain a copy of Terrafirma's Consent to Release Medical Information form from Terrafirma's Safety Department and ensure the attending physician is given the form to complete. Return the completed form to the safety manager. Meet with the Safety Department supervisors to discuss your return to work plans. If that includes modified work, then you'll be completing a modified work offer form during this meeting. Prior to return to work, you must be cleared by a physician, and you must obtain and have the physician fill out a follow-up assessment form. Return the completed follow-up assessment form to the Safety Department. Participate in any modified work assigned to you provided it has been approved by the attending physician. Keep Terrafirma's safety manager informed of all medical treatment, changes in prognosis, prescriptions prescribed, and any other information relative to the injury that could affect positively or negatively your return to work plans. As a condition of employment with Terrafirma, you must sign an agreement stating that you agree and understand with the above requirements. Terrafirma Resources will provide temporary modified work assignments for employees who are unable to perform their regular duties because of work-related injuries or illnesses as determined by a physician in conjunction with the applicable WCB authority. The purpose of this policy is to provide temporarily disabled employees the opportunity to remain in the workforce by utilizing the rehabilitative efforts of gradual re-entry to full capacity employment and to reduce costs of our workers' compensation program. A modified work assignment is any work for which the employee is qualified and which is compatible with the employee's physical restrictions or limitations resulting from a work-related injury or illness. Modified work will comply with the physician's orders and shall not be a type of work that will result in a re-injury to the worker. If the employee feels that they are physically unable to perform the modified work assignment related to their expertise, the manager or foreman shall modify their work to another field and ensure that they are properly trained to perform this task. An employee on modified work duty shall be regularly evaluated by a physician to determine if there has been any progress in the employee's injury or illness. The employee shall keep Terrafirma Resources posted as to their condition. The duration of the employee on the modified work program will be determined case by case with the help of a physician's opinion. Confidentiality. It is extremely important that the private or confidential information and affairs of Terrafirma Resources be maintained in confidence. As such, you'll be asked to sign a legal document stating that you agree to the following. You will not, either during the term of your employment by Terrafirma Resources or at any time thereafter, disclose or reveal in any matter whatsoever the private affairs of Terrafirma to any other person, firm, or corporation. Nor will you use, directly or indirectly, any confidential information which you may acquire, unless you are specifically ordered to do so by a court. Upon termination of your employment, you must deliver up to Terrafirma Resources every and all documents, papers, plans, brochures, projections, discussion papers, customer lists, diaries, materials, and other property of any nature whatsoever of or relating to the affairs of Terrafirma. All material, devices, information, or discoveries of any kind whatsoever disclosed to or developed by yourself in the performance of your employment are the property of Terrafirma. You must inform Terrafirma of all such materials and information and must, upon Terrafirma's request, deliver up such materials and information. Knowledge, information, and facts acquired by yourself in the course of your employment or any confidential information or knowledge communicated by Terrafirma shall be retained by yourself in confidence to be used only for the sole benefit of Terrafirma. You must acknowledge that no information, documents, pictures, etc. pertaining to the business activities of Terrafirma Resources or any of its affiliates be posted to any form of social media, including but not limited to Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or any other. All reasonable precautions are to be taken by the employee and the employer to ensure compliance with the above conditions. Failure to comply with any of the terms outlined in this agreement could result in immediate termination of the employee by Terrafirma Resources. In conclusion, Terrafirma asks that you agree to the following. Understand your responsibilities and requirements as an employee of this company, and abide by the rules, policies, and procedures enforced by Terrafirma Resources. Agree that on all Terrafirma work sites, you will wear basic PPE. This includes flame-resistant coveralls with reflective striping, work boots, side impact CSA Class E hard hat, safety glasses, work gloves, and hearing protection where required. Agree that the PPE you wear will be in compliance with the OH&S code and Terrafirma company policy, and that it will be suitable for the task being performed. Agree that you will not wear hoodies on any of Tacanor's work sites. Agree that you will be fit for duty. Terrafirma will not tolerate or condone any work activities while under the influence of drugs or alcohol. If you are taking prescription medication, you are required to report this to your supervisor immediately. Any employee found to be in non-compliance with the drug and alcohol policy will be subject to serious consequences. If you are asked to perform a task that you do not understand, you will stop and ask questions. You must not perform a task unless you feel confident that you are qualified to do so and understand how to complete the task. You will be asked to sign a document stating you abide by the above. This concludes the presentation. Thank you for participating in Terrafirma's 2018 General Orientation. Please ensure to fill out your employee file in full in order to properly process you as a Terrafirma employee. Please also bring physical copies of your tickets to site and keep them with you at all times. Welcome to Terrafirma Resources.